Welcome everybody to Big Easy Blitz podcast. We are finally doing an in-person pod. This is episode 24, and in this episode, we will be discussing NBA free agency slash the offseason. So with that being said, I'll let Brock take the floor.
Yes. We did it finally. It's been a long time coming.
Yep.
Um, Not much else to say. You kind of touched on it all there. We'll just jump right into it, and we'll start with everyone's favorite team, the team that Connor's repping right now, the New Orleans Pelicans. Look, I mean, it has been an off season for the books. It's one of the off seasons of all time.
Yes, it is. It's an off-season
Um,
of all time.
Not a lot of uh good grades on the outside, I feel like.
Yeah,
In
no,
fact,
people have been rating our
yeah,
off-season
yep,
trash so
yep.
far.
Actually, ESPN did a whole rating on every team's offseason, and the Pelicans were dead last.
Really?
They had the worst rating with a D.
Yikes.
Um, and this was before the Kevon Looney signing.
Mm,
I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong, but either way, I don't think Kevon Looney's going to shoot up
no,
the
absolutely
shoot
not.
our grade up much. Speaking of Kevon Looney, I did not know he was a 10-year league vet.
Yeah, he's been in the league for
I
a
did not
while.
know that. Yes, he's 3 rings. That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy to think about. But he's not going to bring one to New Orleans, so it doesn't matter.
I believe. I believe.
You're like one of the very few,
Crazy things have
and
happened.
not with the Pelicans.
Well, fair enough. But yeah, I think it's a good signing. I mean, we have all these young people in the front court, Yves Missi, and then obviously we just drafted Derek Queen. And Looney, he's not a huge name, but he contributed a lot and a lot more than people thought on those championship teams with the
Yeah.
Warriors. He kind of did all like the dirty work. Sorry. Um, he kind of did all the dirty work. And without them, who knows? They might not have won all those titles. Um, and only, I mean, it's a cheap deal, 2 years, 16 million, eight annually. Um, I I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't. Now, like Brock said, it's not gonna make the Pelicans title contenders or anything, but I do believe it could be beneficial for the franchise, for these young players and their development. So with that being said, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 signing.
Yeah. The one thing I'm worried about is I'm seeing all these people saying it's not really going to fit with Zion and his playing style, which, I mean, who even knows what Zion's like, what the
Who
playing
knows if
style would
Zion's gonna
be,
play?
what's going to fit
Like,
with him,
yeah.
because he's injured every single waking moment, it feels like. But the other thing that's confusing is this isn't like a future. Like, we're not building for the future with this signing because obviously he's been in the league for 10 years
Right.
already. He's probably, what, 28, 29.
Yeah, pushing.
I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, we needed a big man. We got the big man, but I don't know. Since we're still on the Pelicans, another thing that I saw, Klein, I think I mentioned it to you, is a mock trade that I saw. My parents were watching the news last night, I think it was. It
Okay.
was the Fox 8 News,
Hmm.
just local, and they did a sports part, and there was a mock trade, and it was the Pelicans getting Jonathan Kuminga.
Oh no.
You know where I'm going with this,
Oh
for
no.
Herb
Herb
Jones,
Jones.
Jordan Hawkins, and a future first round pick.
If the Pelicans do something like that, I will disown the franchise.
I mean,
I will disown Herbo three ball.
look,
No way.
I don't even like I said, I'm still getting into basketball. Is Jonathan Kuminga, who would he like even
He's Jonathan Kuminga's like a low key attitude problem, and that is like the
that's
last
exactly what
thing
the Pelicans
we
need.
need. That's the last thing we need. We need more of that. And I don't think. I mean, I guess he had a decent bit of potential coming into the league. I think it's kind of worn off. I mean, he's a seasoned vet now in the league. He's been with Golden State for multiple years and has kind of been the same player every year. Uh, and if you want the Pelicans to trade Herb Jones for a guy like this, then you need to check yourself because that will never happen. I at least hope that will never happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's when I saw that, I thought it was like I genuinely thought it was a joke
Yeah.
because I don't remember Jonathan Kuminga being that good. Obviously, I'm a casual when it comes to NBA, but I do watch a little bit, and I know Jonathan Kuminga is not a world beater, and Herb Jones is way too, I feel, prominent to this franchise.
Yeah, like he's just like we claim Herb
Yeah, he's
Jones. Like
beloved.
yeah,
It's gonna be
exactly.
Herb Jones Day in New Orleans.
And like Jose Alvarado,
Yeah,
another one.
I think his days are kind of numbered though.
Yeah, I mean, imagine
Him or
imagine
Hawkins.
this. If we threw in Herb Jones and Jose for Jonathan Kuminga,
I That
there
would
would
be a
be a
dream. That
riot
would be
outside the SBC.
my last ever day as a basketball fan.
Shout out Jose Alvarado. I have a picture with him at a basketball game. Do you have a picture with him? Or at the football game, sorry.
No, I do not.
You don't? Okay, I'm
Um,
sorry.
I have a picture with Rashid Shaheed. So
And
you have and Eric McCoy. Shout out.
and Colin Saunders.
I don't have that issue.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
sorry.
I was in those same like I was here, he was there, so it wasn't.
Speaking of the Saints, just quick tangent. I can't wait to watch the Saints this year, even though they're gonna suck. I'm just really excited.
I guess
Like
foot.
we always get to this point in the off season
Yeah,
where it's like,
I think you're just ready for football, not just
yeah,
him.
you're right. I guess you're right.
I keep seeing these posts. It's like I can't wait for this team to dictate my mood for the next
Yeah,
18
and
weeks.
it's
It's
LSU or
yeah.
like the Saints.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm very high on LSU. We'll do a whole LSU pod
Oh yeah, yeah, for
soon.
sure.
I can't wait to talk about LSU football.
I also can't wait to for EA CFP 26.
Yes,
That's gonna be fun. Do you
today
know what rating Zion Williams is in the game?
probably not too high because he's a freshman.
Well, yeah,
I
I don't
wouldn't.
know.
I mean, I'll look it up maybe off camera
I was
later.
trying to find it. I couldn't find it,
He
but
might not even be in the game. Some
no,
guys,
he
oh, he is in the
is,
game.
yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Because
Well,
I saw on Instagram he like posted like I'm in the game. Like
okay,
it was like the thing I
all
guess
right.
everybody posts.
That's
Um,
crazy. Another
I don't know.
college sport, college basketball's coming back. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
2028, 2029. So it's gonna
Okay,
be.
we got some time. Yeah.
It's just I mean, just more and more. We're getting
Yeah.
closer and closer to college baseball coming back, which
Hmm.
I cannot wait for that game
That
to
would be
begin.
electric.
That is, I will. I might never play MLB the Show ever again.
EA, do your job.
I
Make
don't
the
want
kids
EA to. No,
happy.
I don't want EA to make that.
You don't want
I
EA?
want. I
I mean,
want.
well, EA like in
I
reality,
want San Diego Studios to make that game.
SDS. Maybe. One of
Um,
you do your job.
please. Anyway, we got off a little bit of tangent.
Sorry.
Slightly. Let's move on.
Yep.
Anything else on the Pelicans before we move on?
Uh, no, I mean just to quick recap of the Kayvon Looney signing. I just think it's not necessarily a move to make us a championship team this year, maybe for the future. And that might sound kind of weird because Kayvon Looney's obviously a kind of aging vet, but he could teach people like Eve Macy, people like Derek Queen, um, lessons, that championship DNA he has that who knows, it might pay dividends in years to
Yep,
come. That also could just be me being a biased Pelicans fan. I don't know.
probably.
But
Speaking of Queen, actually, did you see the clip of him saying he will be the best player from this draft class?
I did, and
I
I'm all
love the
for it.
confidence
I
kid,
love the
but he's a
confidence.
6'9" center. Let's just be
I mean,
honest.
dude, who knows? We
It
can't judge him
he
yet.
can't. He's a cone on defense, as Pat Bev once said.
Well, Kayvon Looney's going to teach him a lot.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
So let's try and name the Pelicans starting lineup. They would actually. Who do you
Okay.
think point guard's gonna be?
Jeez, to start, it's going to be Jordan Poole because I mean Dejounte Murray's not going to be back.
When is he? January is his
I
timetable.
think they say like
He might
December,
his
January.
days in New Orleans might be
Yeah.
numbered
Oh
too.
yeah, they're waning for sure. So yeah, Jordan Poole. Um, I was about to say CJ McCollum. Jordan Poole, you're gonna have Trey Murphy, you're gonna have Herb Jones, hopefully,
Zion for
uh,
about a week.
Zion, and then
I would
uh,
say Looney. Yeah, like just to
and then
start because he's a
BT.
vet.
What's that?
I'd say Looney would probably start.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see
I mean,
what
he
they do
gives
with
us
that.
length. That's what we needed.
The Pelicans have like a bunch of guys that could start, but none of them are like great.
Maybe they could
So
do like a Trey Murphy runs the point. Or no, I'm sorry.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole. No. Yeah. No, no, no. Trey Murphy runs the point, and then Herb, Zion, meet Eves, and then Looney let Poole come off the bench.
Yeah, normally you do bring scoring off the bench, or if they do that, I'd say just go with point Zion.
I
But
also thought of that. Yeah.
um, but yeah,
But he's
I
gonna get hurt soon, so
it's
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 just
in Willie Green's hands. We have no idea. The Pelicans have a whole bunch of mid on mid, so
yep,
who really knows?
yep.
But we're just gonna rattle off some teams and some moves they've made.
Can I say this before we
Yeah,
start? The free agency, kind of the most random free agency of all time. I mean, there's so many moves, but no big moves. I feel like it's just a
yeah.
bunch of and like guys are getting way overpaid. Well, we'll get into that.
Oh
The
my
first
God.
guy on the list, I think, is one of them.
Yeah,
Former Pelican actually, Nikhil Alexander Walker.
good transition.
In what world is Nikhil Alexander Walker getting $62 million over 4 years?
Look, man, I really don't hate it because I mean the reason I'm saying I don't hate it, it's way too much money for Nikhil. I love Nikhil.
He's going to the Hawks, by the way.
He's going to the loss. But you saw like a guy like in last season's and last off season, like Emmanuel quickly got
Yeah,
over $100 million
that's
dollars.
from the Raptors, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. Money, look, I'm the biggest sports fan, so is he. But we can both agree that money in sports is
And
it
basketball money in general is
basketball money too.
unbelievable.
Like it's unbelievable. But yeah, I don't hate the move for the Hawks. I don't really know what Nikhil's gonna do for them. Um, but who knows? And then also the Hawks traded for Kristaps Porzingis in a very confusing trade with the Celtics.
They
Um,
gave up somebody. Who they gave up? Was it Clint Capella or no?
no, Clint Capella, we'll get to Clint Capella later, but that's the thing. I mean, they bring in Porzingis because they lose Clint Capella in free agency to the Rockets. We'll get into that later.
Yes,
Um, but the Hawks are, I want to say they're going to be competitive.
they're trying. They're going
They're
all in.
certainly trying.
Seems
I
like
mean, they got Trey Young and they got Porzingis. Um, so I don't know.
I
Who
think
knows?
that they think that Trey Young's time might be dwindling. Maybe just trying to go all in
Maybe.
now because
Mhm.
I don't know if he's going to sign another extension. He hasn't won anything there. I think they want to play in game. Maybe a series against the Knicks. I do remember that. But I mean, I don't know. It's just basketball is crazy. The amount of money that these teams will throw out at anybody just
100%.
to get anybody to might bring them some success is insane.
To fill the
Um,
seats.
yeah,
That's what they got to do.
and we'll get into another guy I'm looking at right there, right there, as you can see.
Mhm.
I don't see him getting that much money.
We'll get there. Get
One
there.
of the greatest almost Pelicans of all time.
Yes. Now, granted, we'll just jump into this guy. The guy we're talking about is Miles Turner,
Yes,
who just signed a big old fat contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And as Pelicans fans, this is good for us because we don't have our pick. And if the Bucks are good and we are good, then that pick we traded away to get Derek Queen will not be as high.
well,
So hopefully the Bucks are good. Hopefully Giannis stays. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy. But in order to get Miles Turner, they had to cut Damian Lillard.
that was really weird to see. I obviously Giannis did not agree with that either.
Yeah.
I don't think Miles Turner and Dame are anywhere near the same caliber player. Um, that was just a very when I saw that I thought at first I thought it said they're waiving him, but then they're going to re-sign him for a cheaper deal. But
Mhm.
then it just turns out they're just getting rid of him altogether.
Yeah, no, they waived him. I want to see him in Golden State. That would be so fun to
Well,
see Steph Curry and Damian Lillard play on the same team. We were fantasizing that back in like 2021 when Damian Lillard was on the
Blazers.
Blazers and like just imagine the offensive production those two would put together. Um, but in reality, I don't know if that's possible. I'd have to look more into that.
Yeah.
But Damian Lillard getting cut, a player like Damian Lillard getting just flat out cut by a team, it's unbelievable. Like it really
He
is
was playing at a
crazy.
very high level
Yeah, I know.
before he
He's
got
now
injured,
granted he got hurt. Yeah, exactly. And he's getting up there.
I guess. But
But I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see where Dame Dollar winds up.
but before we move on to the next one, you mentioned the Pelicans. Maybe they were being good. Am I biased to say that this team it can be very good? They were good last year when they were healthy.
The Pels?
Yes, I feel like they're not like they had one bad year. Injuries derailed it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just New Orleans sports in general.
No.
But I feel like we're not winning a championship, but we're not that far from competing in the West. Now, granted, the West is
The West is
unbelievably loaded.
unbelievably stacked. I mean,
So
the thing is with the West, you got teams now like the Trailblazers are now even going to be more competitive than they were last year. So for you to say that the Pelicans are going to be competitive in the West is not ridiculous to say. But for the Pelicans to be like a top five seed in
yeah,
the West,
well, I mean, now that you said it, it's kind of crazy. Like we've taken for granted, like 2 years ago when we had 50 some odd wins or something like 47
and
wins,
you know what seed we were?
like the sixth seed, six.
No, we were like there we go.
We're
We,
playing. No, we were
yeah, we were
playing.
in the
Yeah, you're
play-in,
right.
exactly. And
But
we had to
if you
win the
look at
play-in.
if we were in the East, we'd be like the three seed or something
Yeah.
like that.
I
Which
mean,
why is New Orleans not in the East? Please
yeah,
explain that
I
to me.
know. NBA, you gotta get
How
the
is Louisiana
geography correct.
in the but a team like help me out. I know there's a team.
Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee might be more far west than we
I
are.
think it is. It's just stupid the way they do that. We're starting a petition to put the Pels in the East so we can at
We
least
need
be
it.
somewhat
You know,
competitive.
the Hornets used to be in the East. Fun fact of the day.
Uh,
Um,
Professional commissioners don't like New Orleans. I swear to God, like it's unbelievable. I don't even
we
want
could
to get
even
into
go
the
back
name.
with the no call. I,
Anyway, I don't want to stay on that. This is a Pelicans episode. As bad as we've been, I feel like Pelicans haven't had that bad luck recently, other
uh,
than injuries.
DeMarcus Cousins, but I don't want to
That
talk.
team was
That team was
destined.
so fun.
They were destined to.
We could we could do a full episode on that.
I mean, I remember watching the play he got injured on, and it was just whenever they came
broke
out
my
and said,
heart.
"Yeah, he tore whatever," I was like, it felt like, and we still won in the first round. We swept
We
the
swept
Blazers
the
first round.
Blazers.
Like that's it's crazy. The Rajon Rondo years were fun to watch, to say the least.
Let me ask you something. I was thinking about this the other day. Do you think Drew Holiday will be remembered as a Pelican?
100%.
You
I
think?
think he'll be in a Pelican
Like
To the
to the
Pelicans.
casual NBA fan, do you think he's remembered as a Pelican or a Buck?
Oh, but the casual NBA fan, probably a Buck just because he won a title there.
Mhm.
But I feel like more local, obviously here we're gonna think of him as a Pelican, but he really turned the Pelicans franchise around
Yeah,
from the dumps when we got him from Philadelphia back in the day. He was always on those teams. He stuck it out through and through until we just absolutely couldn't have him anymore. We traded.
we needed to get something
What
for
did
him.
we trade him for? Was it a trade or did he just leave in
No,
free agency?
we traded. We got some picks.
We did. Oh no, was that when we traded him to the Blazers and they flipped him to the Celtics?
No. We traded him to the Bucks.
Okay, never mind.
And then in his interview after they won the finals, he was like, "Shout out New Orleans, they did me right."
He always loved it here.
Yeah, he did.
Him and his wife.
They did a lot of like charity work
Yeah,
too.
I'd argue he's my favorite Pelican of all time. That's not even
No,
ridiculous to say.
he's my favorite Pelican of all time. Whenever I found out he was traded, I cried.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, I was like 12 or
that's how I
something,
felt when the
but
Cubs, my beloved Cubs, traded their whole 2016 roster.
yeah.
You can only imagine how I felt that day.
What about Anthony Rizzo going to the Yankees?
I don't want to. I remember that day, and just a quick tangent. Just my favorite baseball player of all time is Chris Bryant, and it was 5 minutes till the deadline was over, and I was like, okay, we're gonna keep him. We're gonna build around him, and immediately comes out that he's traded to the Giants,
Mhm.
and I literally we were on the way back from a movie, and I broke down in the car, and I told my mom what was wrong, and she was like, stop messing with me, like some. She thought I was something. She thought I was lying to cover up something. It was like the most sad day I've ever had as a sportsman. Sports fan.
Oh, the Nola no call.
Well, that
That's
was
wild.
okay. That was
As an MLB,
it's one in way as
okay,
an MLB fan for sure, 100%.
yeah. Mhm.
I would like it was just terrible. That another tangent we just went on. We have a lot more to talk about, so we should probably
Yeah,
move
we're not
on.
gonna get to all these. Sorry if your favorite teams left off.
I mean, we can
Um,
skip the KD. We already touched on that.
yeah. Let's talk about the trade the Nets and Nuggets made real quick.
Very weird,
Yeah, very weird.
very strange.
The Nets received Michael Porter Jr. and I think a first
First
round
round pick,
pick
yeah,
for Cam Johnson. Now, I thought it'd be the other way. I thought
yeah,
Cam
same
Johnson
thought.
and the first round pick would have to be attached to get Michael Porter Jr. But the trade market is wild right now. I know there's been all kind of hype around Cam Johnson as a player. I personally don't really get it, to be honest. I mean, Brock could go out on the Brooklyn Nets the last couple of years, and give you a basket a night.
Don't
Um,
underestimate what I got.
yeah, maybe a few baskets a night. Um,
I'll get you a crisp 4 points.
there you go. But I don't know. We'll see. I like it for the Nets. However, I thought they were going to wind up trading and flipping Porter Jr. just because the Nets are kind of not doing anything right now, and Michael
Mhm.
Porter Jr. at this point in his career probably should be on a team like the Nuggets, like he was on. But I don't know. I guess the Nets are going to keep him, fill the seats a little bit. I mean, they still have Cam Thomas, LSU's finest. Um,
Yeah,
so
that
that's
was
all I got there. I'll give the Nets an 8 out of 10, the Nuggets a 6 out of 10.
yeah, yeah. Kind of yeah, pretty much exactly what you just said. I think MPJ is probably better than Cam Johnson. I didn't think that MPJ and a first round pick would uh turn into Cam Johnson.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I mean, are the Nuggets going all in right here, or again to try and get Jokic another ring before he,
100% because
because he's gonna retire soon. He doesn't like basketball. It's plain and simple.
the Nuggets traded for I want to say they traded for Jonas Valanciunas.
They did. They definitely did.
Um,
I did
yes,
see
they
that.
did. They traded for Jonas Valanciunas and they brought back Bruce Brown from the Pelicans.
I can see that coming from a mile away. He was
Yeah,
gonna be a Pitts.
I mean,
That's actually
whoops.
perfect. That's
Okay,
actually
good.
perfect.
Bruce Brown, he just belongs in Denver. I mean, it worked the last time he was
For
there.
sure.
And then Jonas, us as Pelicans fans, we love to see
I
Jonas.
never understand why we got rid of Jonas.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
mean,
crazy that we got rid of all of our centers and then we're whining because we didn't have a center. I, Pelicans basketball for you. Huh?
yep. But I mean, like I said, us as Pelicans fans, we love to see Jonas go to a contending team and hopefully get a ring. Because kind of like I said this about CJ a couple episodes ago, Jonas just did everything right as a professional. He
Hmm.
showed up every night. I can't believe we're going on a tangent about Jonas Valanciunas right now, but he showed up every night. He played every single game 1 year when he was with the Pels. Just a complete Iron Man, fun guy to root for.
I'll always remember that picture whenever we beat the Clippers to get into the
Mhm.
final or the Jesus the playoffs, and he's just like this. That was my screensaver for a couple weeks
Yeah.
actually. Until we got beat by the Suns, and that's why I hate the Suns now. Sorry. For any Suns fans out there, I don't like you. Your team is terrible. I hate you, every part of you.
Yikes.
Sorry to go into that. Jay Crowder and
Don't even get me
who
started
was
on
that other
Jake.
little dude? Oh my God, Cameron
Campaign.
Payne. Oh my God, probably two of my least favorite players in the NBA. If they're still even in the NBA, they're probably rotting away in the G League or something.
Yeah.
Eh,
But
oh, you
yeah,
go.
go ahead.
I was just saying the next one, another former Pell on the move.
Oh yeah, what you got?
Lonzo Ball got traded to the Cavs. Um, and Larry Nance actually both going back. Larry Nance going back to the Cavaliers. Two former Pels going to the Cavs to try and I guess get a championship. I mean, I feel like they're good. I remember saying to you they had like I think they started they were create like 20 something to 0 at some point, weren't they?
No,
They were undefeated for a
they
while.
had a yeah, they had a
Long and I remember telling Connor this team's not going to win tonight the title. I feel like this happens every year. A team that does really well and then just never wins. Um, but yeah, I mean, okay, Cavs got Lonzo and Larry Nance. I don't
yeah.
see how that.
I mean,
Larry Nance, another guy I really liked on the Pelicans.
yeah,
He loved
no.
to be here.
Larry was a definitely a fan favorite here in New Orleans. Lonzo, Lonzo sitting in New Orleans is very forgettable. I mean, I like obviously I remember we had him, but it's very forgettable.
I think he
Um,
played well with Zion though. I will
yeah,
say.
he's the perfect point
Yeah,
guard. When Zion or Lonzo was healthy, he was the perfect point guard next to Zion. Um, I like the move for the Cavs. I mean, Isaac Okoro is a cool player, but I definitely think Lonzo Ball has the potential to raise them up a little bit. And who knows what they're going to do with Darius Garland in the offseason. There's been all kind of rumors floating around
yeah. I mean, funny you say that. I actually saw a LeBron James mock trade to the Cavs.
for Darius Garland.
Yes, it was LeBron for Darius Garland. I want to say somebody else. I don't think it was anyone that crazy big, and like a couple first round picks, which I did not see as a good trade because LeBron has one, maybe 2 years left.
I was about to say, if I'm the Lakers and I can re-sign Garland,
Yeah,
I'm doing that
yeah. I
immediately.
mean, if I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to trade LeBron for any young player ever.
Yeah, I
Like to
mean,
be like he has, like I said, one, maybe 2 years
and
left.
the West is so stacked right now,
Exactly.
but it's LeBron James.
That's true.
So,
That's the one thing that the name holds that much weight.
exactly.
Kind of like the Mannings in football,
Well said.
random stray, but
Um, all right, then we can move on to, I don't know how many we're gonna do left.
just, I
I don't think it's gonna show you, but
guess
um,
we'll find out.
yeah, we're gonna move on to the Desmond Bain trade. How in the world does Desmond Bain get you, what was it, five, four first round picks?
That was four. It was
Unprotected?
four because Bridges was five.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bridges was five. Desmond Bain gets you four
Four first round
unprotected
picks.
picks.
That's
That is
like,
unbelievable.
and Cole Anthony goes to the Grizzlies.
They got Cole Anthony, they got Contavious Caldwell Pope, and four first round picks.
It's
If I'm a Grizzlies fan, I am stoked about that trade.
yeah, for
Stoked.
sure.
I mean, Desmond Bain's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Four first round picks, absolutely not. There are very few people in the league
I mean, Luka Doncic went for one first round pick.
and a superstar. But
That hurts superstar.
yeah, true.
I
But
hate
no,
dropping
I
bigs.
think it's a great move for the Grizzlies. I don't know what the Magic are doing.
Yeah. It does. I mean, Desmond Bane's was kind of a role player on the Grizzlies.
No, Desmond Bain's a very good player.
Okay,
He's a very
well,
good player.
it's casual. Um, but I mean, in no world is Desmond Bane a worth four first round picks, like you just said. Maybe a first and like a second, I would think.
I'd cap it at two.
Yeah,
I'd
I
cap it at two.
mean, and even Kentavious Caldwell Pope,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
he's a
Like,
good player.
that's what I'm saying. They got
He
KCP, who's a very solid player. Cole
yes,
Anthony, who still has a lot of untapped potential.
yes.
So,
I mean, KCP probably one of the best players to be on 10 plus teams.
yeah,
I mean,
KCP has been
he
around.
always gets thrown in random trades. I feel like,
Yeah.
and he performs everywhere he goes.
Detroit, Los
The
Angeles,
Nuggets,
Orlando, the Nuggets. Yeah.
the Bucks, I think he was on.
Lakers. Did I already say
Yeah,
that?
no, yeah, you said Los
He
Angeles.
was on the
I think he
Lakers.
was on both
Yeah.
Los Angeles teams. But am I wrong?
I don't know if he was on the
He
Clippers.
might have been.
He might have had a brief stint with them. Um, But yeah, enough said there. Let's move on to the Rockets. The Rockets have been the most active team this offseason. They've re-signed a
Mm,
ton of players.
I'd say the Rockets and the Hawks, but
Yeah, the Hawks too. Um, but the Rockets went out and got Clint Capella, and obviously, if you remember, James Harden would throw lobs up to Clint Capella pretty much 6 times a game on average when they played together. So Clint Capella back in Houston just feels right to
yeah,
me because it was so fun to watch. watch those Rockets teams. And then Clint Capella simply catching lobs and dunking them got him a bag from Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
A
Oh,
bag.
another guy who should not have been paid that much.
No,
NBA
absolutely
money's
not.
crazy.
Shout out Clint Capella though. I've always been a Clint Capella guy. Um, yeah, you got anything to say on Clint Capella?
No, not really. I mean, like you said, when he was on the Rockets before, it was fun to watch. Back when I was an actual like basketball fan, because the Pelicans were good. When they battled out with the Warriors, back in the day.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, yeah, maybe he can produce. I know he's a little older now. I don't know how
Yeah.
much he's gonna be on. Is he gonna be the starter center, you think?
No. I
Okay.
think I'd have to look at their depth more. But I mean, they already have Sengun and
Okay.
KD, so
Oh
I
yeah, they
doubt.
do. My bad. Oh, and they just extended Jabari Smith, which I want to get into because he got extended. He got 5 year or 4 years, 120. And there was another guy who I can't think of his name right now. He got this might help you. He got 4 years, 240 million. I know you're talking. You know who I'm talking about. We discussed.
240
Yes, we did.
K?
No, no, no. It wasn't Shay. It was. I'm blanking right now, but it was somebody who we thought that him and Jabari were not close, were not far away from each other, and Jabari Smith got half of what he got. I know, come on, I know you know this. We talked about it with Gianni and Harry. I'm pretty sure.
240
He had
million.
240 million. I'll look it up live on air if you want me to do
A
that.
player signed for 240
Yes,
million
I
dollars.
promise you. I promise you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
The reason
yeah, you could talk about it.
the only
So,
reason they gave Jabari Smith that much money is because they probably felt obligated to, because they took him with such a high draft pick out of Auburn a couple of years back. I personally don't think he's a great player. I think he's all right, but certainly not worth that much money. And quite honestly, I have no clue how Houston was able to give him that much because just brought in KD. They got to extend. They extended Sengun. They're going to have to extend Amen Thompson, and Lord knows they're not going to want to lose Amen Thompson.
mm,
Um, I
I,
guess they lost Fred VanVleet. I don't remember if they lost Fred VanVleet or if they're
I
bringing him
don't.
back. Um, but they have so many guys to pay, and choosing Jabari Smith as one of them is kind of head scratching. But ultimately, overall, I do like what the Rockets have done so far in their offseason. Are you making any progress finding this one?
Just give me a second.
Yeah, I
It
have
was.
no idea who
Oh,
this is.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, Triple J. Yeah.
Yeah, he got 240 million dollars,
Yeah.
and
That's
he just like his turf toe now, which is kind of crazy
yeah,
that he
he's out
signed
for
that.
12 weeks.
That is not the most Pelicans thing I've ever heard. Signing a big name and then immediately getting
Pinky toe contusion for Zion. Um, look, Triple J's a great player. Like
240 million though.
that's just the way it is. I know. That's
That's
just the way it is now. I think I don't think that's a super max. At least I hope they didn't give Triple J a super max. They probably gave him a max contract. Another thing I kind of want to touch on is Isaiah Hartenstein. He got a bag. And for Isaiah I like Isaiah Hartenstein, but like as a player, but not that much money. There was talks about him getting a max deal from the Knicks.
Knicks or Thunder.
The Knicks when he was
Oh,
on the Knicks.
before
Yeah,
he left.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. I
And
mean,
that was wild to me. I could not believe it when I saw that.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, speaking of the Thunder, they're gonna have a decision to make because Shea, Jalen Williams, and somebody who was the other person? Oh, Chet are all like they're all eligible to get an extension this
yeah,
summer.
they extended Shea already.
Yeah, I know that. The
Um,
other two are gonna have to make a decision.
they're gonna.
They'll probably get rid of Chet if I did. If
I
it
think
had
they
to,
might be able to finagle their way around it. I think they might
I
be
think
able
those
to.
guys would be willing to re-sign for the right price though.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, coming off a
Um,
chip, they probably, as much as I don't like the Thunder, I can see them having a small little dynasty coming
yeah,
because they're so young.
I think the Thunder are the next
I mean,
dynasty. I think they're the next dynasty.
they're
As
so
much as it
young.
pains me as a Pelicans fan to say, they have shout out Sam Presti. He did everything right. Everybody called him crazy for accumulating all those draft picks, but it's paying off.
Yeah, but can we just say, the worst championship celebration I have ever seen in my life. I don't know
I
if you saw that.
I'd be lying to you if I told you I watched it.
Okay, I didn't watch it. I just saw a couple of clips of it. The parade might have had 75 people.
What?
I'm not even joking.
I feel like
We
all
get
those
we will
OKC people are crazy.
we can turn this into a TikTok and we'll
Yeah,
throw up the picture. I promise you, it was I would say half of the Jesuit student body was there.
that
Just
is
there
unbelievable.
was nobody there.
That is crazy.
It is just, and all the guys are so young, so I don't know if you saw the viral clip. They didn't know how to pop champagne. That was kind of funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, Oklahoma City, they don't deserve a championship. The city does not deserve a championship, but the team does.
Yeah,
They're
Sam Presti's done everything
I don't
correctly.
like them, but they're pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I can't lie.
If I'm an OKC fan, I'm over the moon.
Shout out
I mean,
Lawson and Bam.
yes, shout out. He's kind of controversial,
Kind
but
of.
LNU, man, take us back to like 2015. LNU was the guy.
I miss watching his videos when it was like if this player what teams would look like if players stayed in their hometown. It was like the
Or
Pelicans were
like
stacked.
the best player at like
6 foot.
age,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or like yeah, height or
Let
like
me tell
certain
you,
age.
in his videos, the Pelicans were loaded. I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Oh yeah. His Pelicans hat would have Mitchell Robinson, De'Aaron Fox. We go
oh,
into
I'm
some
talking
other
about like
players.
guys that we drafted. They had to stay at the team.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant was one of them. Kobe Bryant would have been a Pelican.
Well, Charlotte Hornet. And at that point, who knows if the Pelicans would have wound up back here. Um, but you talk about crazy NBA money. You know who Santi Aldama is?
I'd be lying if I said I did.
Santi Aldama signed for 3 years, $52.5 million. Look,
Bro. Hey, my son is doing
shout out
all the
Santi
training.
Aldama.
My son is going to play in the NBA, whether he wants to or not. I'll send him anywhere he wants. Anywhere I want him to play in the NBA, I'll send him to whatever trainer, anybody. I mean, this dude, that's 52. I don't even know who that is. I couldn't tell you what position he played or what team he's
He's a
on.
big man.
If what's his name?
Santi Aldama.
If he walked in this backyard, this beautiful backyard. Shout out Brad for
Shout out
letting us
Brad.
use it.
Thank you for hooking us up.
If he walked in this backyard, I know I would have no idea who he is.
I think you would because just as he's
Well,
like
yeah,
7
I'd
foot.
probably say, okay, he's a basketball player, but I
Yeah.
would never
Yeah.
not be able to put names to people.
Yeah. hmm
It's unbelievable.
Uh, Santi Aldama's a cool player. He is not a great player. He's a role player. He is like, I guess, cool for Memphis. I really don't know what they're trying to do over there. I mean, you've even seen John Morant's name float around in some trade rumors.
Really.
Yeah, oh yeah. But they came out and said they were not trading him, and that they wanted to run it back with him in Triple J. Uh, but I guess we just have to gauge NBA money with the modern day now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. I mean, you would to the casual NBA fan, Santi Aldama getting $52.5 million is absurd. But I mean, at this point,
I would
who
say in
knows?
NFL terms, that's like Jalen Ford for the Saints getting $52 million.
That might be a reach.
That's like Colin Saunders getting $52 million.
Eh, if you let me think about it's like overshown from the Cowboys getting that much money.
Okay.
That's what it's like.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
the second time now I've gone off the dome making a comparison between the three big
you're
sports.
pretty good at it. I will
I
give you.
appreciate it.
But I would just one thing. Can some of these NBA teams lend money to the Saints, please? I mean, for the love of God, if I have to hear one more offseason that we're so below the cap or we're so much in debt
Or just get the
on,
Saints a new medical staff, please. I will do anything to
would you
get
rather a new medical staff or get rid of Mickey Loomis?
is the medical staff functioning? Is it a good one or is it still unknown?
I mean, everybody's gonna get injured. People are gonna get injured, but
Is it better than what we have?
yes, I mean, anything's better than what we have. Me and you could go out there and be better
I'm
than what we have.
I'm getting rid of Mickey Loomis. I'm getting rid of him.
Wow. So he just asked me that question and then went the exact
Yeah,
opposite.
because
Or no, I just asked. Never mind.
if if we were getting a top tier medical staff, 100% I'm taking that.
Well, I mean, anybody's taking that. But Mickey Loomis would still find a way to mess that up.
You're right.
Thank God he gave up the GM of the Pelicans. Uh,
He was a GM.
yeah, they both owned it.
I'll be damned. I knew he had some
Yeah, that's
stay.
when David
'Cause
Griffin came from.
I saw
Pretty sure. I could be completely wrong, but I'm almost
I
positive.
think you're right. I think I saw Mickey Loomis in the Pelicans war room when they were making a draft. And then conversely, I saw
I think, yeah,
Willie
Willie
Green.
Green in the
I
Saints.
think I saw both,
Okay, I
but
didn't see
I
the second.
don't quote me on that.
I saw Willie Green. I didn't see Mickey Loomis. We
Yeah.
probably have to speed up. I feel like it's been under a while.
Yeah, you're probably right. No, we still got time.
Okay. You want to get in any more? You want to just kind of go?
No, I mean, we've pretty much
I mean,
touched on
Dennis Schroeder got $45 million. Tell me where
um,
Dennis Schroeder played last season. Exactly.
he's on a bunch of different teams. I think he was on with Detroit for a second. Um, but that's all I got with NBA.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to touch on?
We could talk. Uh, I mean,
Shout out Brad again, by the way.
yes, of course. He's too camera shy to come out here.
Yeah,
I have no idea where he is. He was making faces at us
yeah,
in the
earlier.
screen. If you watch, go scroll back or skip back, you can see us laughing when we look up.
Mhm.
But yeah, shout out Brad. hopefully we finish it before it starts raining on us. But yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful backyard. And thank God, like super thankful he let us come out here. He didn't have to do that, but
Hey, we might be back out here too. I mean, I
maybe
love this has
for
been the
sure.
most fun I've had
Oh
filming
yeah,
pod.
maybe I'm moving into a new house. Might be able to do there
Okay, yeah.
possibly.
This is also always a good spot though to
Yeah,
come
I
back
mean,
if
me and
Brad
Connor
allowed.
we live 2 minutes away from,
Mm.
so that's always not to get too personal, but
Happy Fourth,
anyway,
everybody,
happy
too.
Fourth. When you see this, we'll probably wait to post this till fourth
Yeah,
or late tonight. Whenever you
it's
see
either gonna be
this.
tonight or the fifth. Because thinking
Okay.
about it, like I'm not gonna have time to
Okay. So
post on the
most
fourth.
people, when you see this, happy 4th of July.
Yes, happy Fourth of July.
Yes.
We're
Uh,
festive around here. We've got the red on, hint of blue, some white.
Me too. Right
Brock,
here.
Brock's repping the
I got the red and white.
LSU.
I just don't have the blue one.
Hmm. No, but I mean, still big things to come for the Big Easy Blitz podcast.
Shout out 215, 216 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, look, I mean,
Steadily climbing.
yeah, keep telling everybody to follow us, on all
Repost,
socials.
share,
Yeah,
everything.
all those things. And we're still going to be consistent for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, that's all I got.
That's all we got.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe, follow us on all socials at Big Easy Blitz Podcast, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
Facebook.
Facebook. Now on Facebook. But yeah, we will
It's
see
the
y'all
same
later.
handle for everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Easy Blitz Podcast. But we will see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.